Among all people, you can expect charlatans, con artists, and false prophets. They have existed since the beginning of this world, and you will find them on all four corners of the globe. Puerto Rico is not exempt from this reality, and the most notable case is that of José Luis de Jesús Miranda. José Luis de Jesús Miranda was a native Puerto Rican who founded the Ministerio Creciendo en Gracia, or Growing in Grace Church, and claimed to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, you may ask, how does a person come to that conclusion? Did they receive legitimate revelations like prophets in the scriptures, such as Moses or Elijah? Or are they crazy? Or are they putting on a con game? Now, the interesting part is that he got hundreds of thousands of people to believe, follow, and give money to his cause. Lots of money, in the millions. So how did this come about? Well, let's look at his story. He was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico on April 22nd of 1946, and according to him, under very poor conditions. As a youth, he would serve stints in jail for theft, and by the age of 14 would be hooked on heroin. Now, that's a hard life. It's bad enough to be born into poverty, but to top it off with a heroin addiction is even worse. Fortunately for him, he found refuge in the belief in God, and that allowed him to overcome the addiction. Soon thereafter, he would join a Baptist church and become a dedicated follower, and after several years be promoted to a minister. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In 1973, at the age of 27, he claims to have been visited by a pair of angels and that the Spirit of Jesus integrated with his person. Now, we can imagine how this came about. Was he on heroin again or some other drug and having hallucinations? Or was he having mental issues and misinterpreting thoughts in his mind? Or did he just invent a story to come up with a con game when he realized there's money to be made? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't visited by angels in the biblical sense. Nevertheless, soon after, he started preaching his own interpretation of scriptures. He would then move to South Florida with his first wife and children and start his own ministry. After securing a time slot from a local radio station, he would begin his teaching, and he would also begin to amass a following that would lead to the formation of Ministerio Creciendo en Gracia, or Growing in Grace, by 1988 in the city of Miami. By 2007, he was preaching to followers in over 35 nations, mostly in Latin America. De Jesus' teachings had a bizarre twist to them. At first, he was only preaching according to the four Gospels that narrate the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. If he would have just focused on this, he wouldn't have been as controversial. But in 1998, he claimed that he was the reincarnation of Paul the Apostle and changed his focus into reading and preaching about Paul's gospel. And then in 2005, he officially claimed to be the Christ. By late 2007, he was referring to himself as the Antichrist, but with his own interpretation as to what the Antichrist really is. According to his own words, Antichrist means no longer following Jesus of Nazareth as he lived in the days of his flesh, but rather to follow the Apostle Paul's teachings through his interpretation, whatever that means. This led to him and many of his followers to get the numbers 666 tattooed on some part of their bodies, mainly their forearms. He also preached that sin and the devil did not exist, as Jesus had already paid the price for sin, and that prayer was useless. Basically, he encouraged his followers to indulge themselves without fear of consequences. However, his most bizarre teaching was that there would be a transformation day which would occur between June 30th and July 1st in 2012. On that day, his followers would become immortal and be able to walk through fire, walls, and so on. Of course, this never materialized. José Luis de Jesus Miranda died on November 15, 2013, and with his death came the collapse of most of his following. However, some followers remained, and some even began various religious groups of their own. However, these leftover sects maintained a meager influence. Also, many things about his lifestyle were revealed after his death. Among them were infidelity, gambling debts, using the church's millions to buy personal properties, living a lavish lifestyle, and even using the church's funds to pay his first wife's alimony payments of $12,000 a month. Make no mistake, José Luis de Jesús Miranda was no Messiah, and certainly no second coming of Christ. What he was an opportunist who saw an opportunity to put himself in a privileged position on the backs of his followers without providing anything of real value in return. Here's a clip of the Jesus trying to make sense of what it was he was preaching.
Anyone who doesn't believe in me is miserable.
José Luis, your supporters are known for people who tattoo 666 on their body. And I understand you have a 666 tattooed on yours.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, the first person that was called Antichrist was the Apostle Paul, because in his times he taught people not to put the eyes on Jesus of Nazareth, because Jesus of Nazareth, he wasn't a Christian, he was a Jewish. So he practiced Jewish religion. So Paul said, if we know Christ after the flesh, we don't look at him anymore. So that's why the apostles thought that Paul was against Jesus.
Right.
But really, he was presenting Jesus after the cross, not before the cross.
But okay, but you're saying that, that 666 thing, that, the mark of the beast, has nothing to do with that.
Por lo tanto, yo no soy Jesucristo hombre porque tiraron una moneda y me cayó encima en Ponce, Puerto Rico. No, yo vengo escogido desde antes.
¿Nos puede mostrar uno de los dos, si sería tan amable?
666. Ese es el número de José Luis de Jesús. Voy a hospitales. Yo no tengo seguro médico. Y yo tengo el mismo cuerpo que tienen ellos. Yo me enfermo, a mí me dan de todo lo que te da a ti.
¿Cómo se recupera?
Me recupero con la confesión. O sea, nosotros activamos la vida de Jesús que está en nuestro cuerpo físico.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Help us to spread this video by sharing. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more videos.